Alright, so we're gonna go and meet my parents tomorrow, right? I'm a little worried about something, so I thought that I should warn you before we go.
What are you worried about?
I just spoke to my parents on the phone, and it looks like my dad… well, it sounds like he really's got something against you.
What? Really? But we've never even met before. What could he have against me? Is he really that protective of you?
Kind of. It's more like he thinks that we gotta marry into someone that's worthy of being in our family, since I guess you can say that we have it all. We have the education, the money, the influence. I mean, all of our family has graduated from a renowned university. He wants the people that join our family to be just as high up on the ladder as we are.
So? What's the problem? I went to a pretty famous university too. Or is it not famous enough?
Well, yeah, the problem isn't you exactly, it's your background. I didn't know that your dad was a single parent. You've never told me that he raised you by himself. But my dad knew somehow.
Wait, I told you that my mom passed away. I didn't think that I would have to tell you that that means that my dad is a single parent.
Well, I knew about your mom, but I didn't think that he was still alone. When you hear that someone's from a single-parent household, you get the impression that they're not exactly financially stable. You understand that, right?
What? Troy, what are you even saying? That doesn't make any sense at all. Do you understand that that's called prejudice?
Anyway, I think that's why my dad doesn't like you. My mom told me that he's been in a bad mood recently because of that. So I just want you to be careful with what you say to him tomorrow. We don't want to anger him any further.
You're telling me to be careful? How am I supposed to do that? I haven't even done anything wrong, so how am I supposed to take care not to make him angry? I'm not gonna walk around on eggshells. I don't understand where this is all coming from, but if he already hates me, then obviously there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to be myself and work towards getting to know him, and have him get to know the real me. Everything's going to be fine, so you don't have to worry.
You've got a lot of nerve coming into my house and trying to slither your way into my family. A woman like you doesn't deserve to be with my son. You're beneath him.
You should take that back, Mason. You're being extremely rude. You were insulting my dad, too. What you've said is absolutely unforgivable.
You and that father of yours, did you really think that you could become a part of our family if you got closer to my son and married him? You're beneath us. You don't have the right. You must be stupid if you think that I'm going to let you get away with this.
I'm not interested in becoming family with someone who speaks like that to someone they've only just met. And the prejudices you have against single-parent households is just ridiculous, too. I don't want to have anything to do with your so-called super elite family.
You don't have the right to reject us. We're the ones that want nothing to do with people like you. You must have thought that marrying into our family was a chance for you to become rich yourselves. But you're not getting your dirty hands on any of my money. And you're not marrying my son either. If you keep on acting like a gold digger like that, then you'll never get married. It's no wonder you're still single at your age.
Excuse me?
There's no point in trying to hide it. I heard from Troy that you're older than he is. Which means that you're over 30. If a woman's not married by the time she's 25, that can only mean that something's wrong with her. In other words, you're after our money. You can't trick me, you're a fortune hunter. You should take a good look at yourself and your background before you go out and try and find another victim. Next time, you should aim a lot lower instead of trying to reach for someone that's out of your league. You and my son were never going to make it as a couple. He's too good for you. And you only have your ignorance to blame if you can't realize that.
Mason, I think you should be careful with what you say to me. You're going to regret being this rude, and you'll wish that you could take it back when it's too late.
Why should I take care with what I say to you? You're just a gold digger. I can say whatever I like to someone like you. Do you want to know why? It's because someone with your background doesn't have the power to stop me. You say that I'm going to regret this. As if. What can you do to make me apologize? Nothing!
I understand the love you have for your only son, and wanting the best for him, including the best partner, but that doesn't mean that you can talk to people however you want. You were rude enough to insult me and my father the minute I walked through your door, and now you've gone out of your way to contact me online just to continue your verbal abuse. It's pathetic. And you really consider yourself a part of the higher end of society? As an elite? Don't make me laugh.
And you wouldn't, since you're not one of us. We have pride in being elites, and we have a duty to uphold our reputation. If I let Troy marry you, it would mean the end of that reputation. Especially now that I know your father didn't even go to high school. An embarrassment like that has to be avoided at all costs.
Excuse me? How did you even find out about that? My dad's never told you that, and I've never told Troy either. How did you find out about my dad's education? And about my dad being a single parent? It seems like Troy never told you, so how did you know?
I guess it's difficult for a poor person like you to understand. Rich people have their own ways of finding information that someone like you could never dream of. It must be a shock, but this is proof that you would never have made it in our family.
Enough with the derogatory comments. Would you hurry up and tell me how you found out about my dad? You're starting to creep me out.
You? Ordering me around? God, you even sound uneducated. But I'll tell you, it's easy for me to hire someone to investigate someone like you. Money makes the world go round, and having a lot of money myself, I could do whatever I want. I have the sort of education that you can only dream of, and with it I can have a career that's out of your reach, and money that you'll never get. Once someone is born into the lowly circumstances you're stuck with, they can never escape it. The only life you'll ever know is lacking in financial stability, lacking in good education, and wanting of good morals.
You really sound like you're enjoying this. But I'm warning you, I'm going to report everything you've said to my dad.
Do whatever you like, I doubt that he can ever do anything to me. Oh, and maybe it was difficult for an idiot like you to understand, but the engagement is off. You're not marrying my son. I'm not going to allow you to marry into our family, not now and not ever. We've all been to top universities in our country. Why should we let someone like you get in our way?
I never imagined that my own fiancé's husband would cancel the engagement, but I'm not upset by it at all. If anything, I'm relieved. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that your son wasn't the man I thought he was. Now I know what he's really like. I don't want to marry him. I've already told him that I don't want to marry him myself. I'm not interested in becoming family with someone who thinks that he can insult people based on their education. And he didn't even try to defend me while you were shouting abuse at me. He was too afraid to argue back to you. When I saw that he wasn't even going to try and come between us, I lost all of my feelings for him. It made me wonder why I even fell in love with him in the first place.
Our family has a strong bond. Of course he wouldn't talk back to me for a woman like you. He knows better than that. It takes an education to teach people who they should really side with. And he made the right choice by not defending you. We don't need someone like you disrupting our family bond.
I told you I have no intention of marrying your son anymore. So there's no need for you to talk down to me like that.
I made the right choice by hiring that private investigator to look into you and your family.
What?
I found out a lot of interesting things about you. I didn't want some random woman making her way into my son's life and getting her dirty hands on our money. I should have been more wary and stopped him from even dating a woman like you. But at the very least, I managed to stop him from ruining his life by marrying you.
You actually went out of your way to investigate us? Wow, you're so committed. So you really think that your family's reputation is worth that much effort to protect? You must think very highly of yourself.
Of course I do. Our family is special. We have dignity, unlike people like you. The private investigator informed me that your father didn't even go to high school. There's no way that I can let you start a family with our Troy knowing that you're going to mix your uneducated blood into our family. You're not marrying Troy, and that's final.
Well, my dad says that you're fired.
What?
I'm tired of talking to you, so I've already told him everything that you've said to me. At first, I was willing to just accept breaking off the engagement because Troy and I were probably just not meant for each other. And I was willing to ignore how rude you had been to me when I visited. But you've gone too far, Mason. You said too much about me and my dad, and now we're both furious. My dad's shocked that you could be so discriminatory and has decided he doesn't want you working in his company anymore.
What the hell are you talking about? He can't do anything to me. He's just a middle school graduate. He doesn't have the power to fire me.
Listen to me, Mason. You're working in the company that my dad founded after he graduated from middle school. He's your employer, asshole.
What did you say?
Let me correct myself. You're not even working in his company. You're working in some distant child company that doesn't even have much affiliation with him.
What are you talking about?
You don't even know what he looks like, do you? The CEO of your parent company? You wouldn't, because you don't have any reason to. Since you're not even a manager of any kind, you're just a simple office worker. But you should have gotten his picture when you investigated us, right? How about you look up the CEO of the company you're working for? I think you'll recognize him, because he'll have the same face as the man in the picture who you got from your PI.
What? You're kidding.
I'm not. Look it up and see for yourself. If you take a look at the company homepage, you'll find my dad's picture.
It's true. It really is the same picture. No way. Your father is the CEO of our parent company?
That's why I warned you not to insult my dad. So, how does it feel to be fired by the very guy that you were insulting for being beneath you and inferior to you? Is it embarrassing? Do you feel humiliated? I hope so, because you definitely deserve it.
Wait a minute. Is this really true? Are you the CEO's daughter? But why? I didn't know. I didn't know about any of this. The investigator never told me that your father owned a company, let alone the company that I work at.
What, did the PI only tell you that my dad was a middle school graduate? That's a shame. You must have wasted a lot of money to get that lousy information. But even if you didn't know, nothing's going to change my dad's mind. You should just give up and work on fixing your manners and finding another job.
I'm very sorry.
What?
I apologize for being so rude towards you and the CEO. I got ahead of myself and made a lot of unpleasant remarks that hurt you and your father. It was because I didn't know who you really were. If I did, I wouldn't have said that. I really regret my actions towards you, and I hope that you'll find it in your hearts to forgive me. Please let me apologize. I'm sincerely extremely sorry. It was unacceptable for me to speak to you like that.
It's too late for you to start apologizing now. The damage has already been done. Besides, we're not interested in accepting your apology.
Please don't say that. I really didn't mean to insult you like that. Please, hear me out. It was the investigator's fault. They must have made a mistake and sent me the wrong information. I didn't mean to be so rude to you, okay? You've got to believe me.
Oh, really? Then how about the lies about you going to university? I think I'm correct when I say you didn't go at all. But I guess you're trying to say that you didn't mean to lie about that as well.
What?
We already know the truth, Mason. We know that you haven't actually been to university. You lied about being a high school graduate.
I can't believe what you're saying. I went to university. I went to one of the top universities in the country. That's why I got the job at your father's company, because of my degree.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You were putting yourself on a pedestal, declaring that you were better than everyone else because of your higher education. But in actual fact, you've never been to university. You're a high school graduate. My father had you investigated and found out everything for me.
What? You investigated me?
You're just a family of vain liars. Or rather, you're the vain one. You are trying to present yourself as a superior, important man with a reputation to uphold, but you were lying about everything. To your own family, too.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't lied about anything.
Of course you know what I'm talking about. You should know yourself whether you've been to university or not. There's no point lying to us anymore. My dad's already had you investigated by a PI because he was worried about the type of person you were.
Huh? You hired a private investigator as well?
Yeah, we found out that you're a high school graduate and that you lied about your education to get into my dad's company. My dad had no intention of getting in the way of my engagement to Troy. He just wanted to know what kind of person you were. He trusted my judgment and was willing to ignore what you had done as long as I really did want to marry Troy. He was going to give his blessing for the marriage, but apparently he's changed his mind. He's angry that you could be so insulting and that you spoke to me like that, and has decided that he wants you gone. He's the CEO after all. He can't ignore that you faked your CV to get into his company.
You already know that much. I never would have imagined that I would be investigated by someone else. I thought that I could hide the truth.
If you're able to investigate someone else, you should keep in mind that someone might be investigating you too. By the way, the PI that you hired was someone that my dad knows. You should know that he has a lot of influence over a lot of local business.
What? He knows the investigator I hired?
Yeah, the PI kindly let him know that he was his next target. So my dad asked him to keep his current position under wraps and chose what information they could leak to you. He wanted to see how you would react to the information you had been given.
What? So you tricked me? So then I was just dancing to your tune without knowing it? Then it's not my fault that I reacted like that. You did it on purpose to make me look like the bad person. We've both done wrong in this situation, so why can't you just overlook what happened? Let's forget about all this.
No way, you must be joking. The second you found out about my dad being a middle school graduate, you hated me before you even met me. And then when I went to visit you with Troy, you looked down on me and insulted me. I don't want to have anything to do with you. I didn't know that my dad had investigated you until I told him everything you said, but I'm grateful that he did. I know that he was just thinking about me, and in the end, he didn't use that as a reason to try and get me to cancel the engagement. But you did.
But it's not my fault. If I had known that you were the CEO's daughter, I never would have said any of this. I would never have disrespected you the way that I did to you both if I knew that he was my boss. I didn't know, so I didn't mean it. You've got to forgive me.
Even if my dad wasn't the CEO of your company, you should never have spoken to me like that. You're the lowest of the low for demeaning me like that. Just because you found out that my dad didn't go to high school. You're obviously not fit to call yourself a father, since you've ruined the chance of a happy future your son might have had, and for lying to him about your own education. Plus, you're going to be fired, and won't be able to support your own family, despite priding yourself for being so well off.
Please wait. You can't do this. You're gonna ruin my life for nothing. I haven't done anything wrong. Tell me what I've done to deserve this.
You still don't understand what you've done? I've already told you enough, so why don't you look back on what you've said to me this past hour and think about it? I don't want to have anything more to do with you or your son, so don't try to contact me again. If you'll excuse me, I've got better things to do.
Wait a minute. I'll give you my blessing. You can marry my son.
Were you even listening to me?
My son says that he still wants to marry you, if I'll let you marry him, so please. He's told me that he's sorry and he wants to get back together, hasn't he? Why don't you? Just forget about everything I said to you today and make up with my son. You were both happy to marry him up until now. Are you going to let a few bad hours change that? Are you really that cold? Just marry him. If that's what you want to do, I won't stop you anymore. I didn't mean anything I said, so if you'll just forgive me.
You're getting on my nerves, Mason, you and your son. There's no way I'll be able to forget what you said to me today, and there's no way I want to marry your son. I've already saved screenshots of the conversation we've had online, and I've already shared them with my dad. And I don't love your son anymore. It's as simple as that. He didn't even try to stop you or try to defend me. And if anything, he was telling me that I needed to be careful the night before we went to visit you. I've already told him that I'm not interested in forgiving him and that we're never getting back together.
You can't do that. What am I supposed to do? I'm going to lose my job. How am I supposed to tell my family? They'll never forgive me.
Oh, yeah, about that. I already told Troy that you lied to him and your family about being a university graduate.
What?
Your entire family knows that you've been lying this entire time. It seems like they're pretty disappointed. Good for you! Now you don't have anything to hide from them. Anyway, I'm leaving now. Don't ever contact me ever again. I don't want to become family with someone like you. So I'm never coming back. Goodbye! After that, Mila ignored all of Mason's messages and calls. She officially broke off the engagement with Troy and let her parents know that she wasn't going to marry him. Mason's managers found out from Mila's father that he had been lying about his education and was fired immediately after. His entire family lost all trust in him when they found out the reasons behind him losing his job. He had been so wary of Mila damaging his reputation and had always been a very proud man, so he was even more embarrassed when they heard that he had never been to university. Troy blamed his father for everything that had happened between Mila and himself and didn't think to look back on his own faults before cutting ties with Mason. Mason's wife announced that she wanted a divorce, and Mason has been attempting to convince her to take him back, without much success. They were calling themselves an elite, well-off family, but in the end, they've lost the strong bond that Mason believed they had and have all ended up living alone. Mila was relieved that she didn't have to marry a man with such a pretentious family, and was even thankful for Mason's treatment for helping her realize that she was making a mistake.
Chelsea. What the heck do you think you're doing? Are you actually getting married to Seth? Are you seriously going to go through with this? What's the meaning of this? You've got some nerve trying to take my man away from me. You know that, right? Who is this? What do you mean I'm trying to steal your man? I don't understand. Oh, it's you, Gemma. Wow, it's been a while since we last spoke. I really didn't think another colleague would be messaging me like this. I don't understand why you're talking to me like this all of a sudden when I haven't done anything wrong. Seth and I have been going out for almost 4 years already. What you're saying isn't making any sense at all, Gemma. How the hell is he your man when he's been with me for such a long time? I can say whatever I like to you about him. He was my boyfriend back when we were both in college. You're just another colleague of his that shouldn't even be that close to him. Why are you trying to take my boyfriend away from me? You're a complete backstabber. Are you insane or something? Okay, Gemma, I'm really sorry about this, but I've honestly got no idea what you're talking about right now. I do remember that you two used to date. But you dated in college, right? That was a long time ago, Gemma. Wouldn't it have been almost 10 years ago now? If you guys broke up that long ago, why are you mentioning it to me now? To be honest, you've known for a long time that we've been dating. Why are you trying to butt into our relationship now? I thought you were cool with it. Because Seth and I were destined to get married. He's not supposed to be marrying you. It would never work between the two of you. Us breaking up was a huge mistake, and I'm here to put it right. You're stealing my man, so give him back. Seth must feel the same way about me. Surely he does. Even he knows that we'll end up together in the end. It's our destiny to be together. I've really got no idea what you're saying, Gemma. You're a bit delusional, to be honest with you. First of all, I don't know how you found out about my marriage to Seth. It's really got nothing to do with you. I don't really know why you're saying such nonsense to me about how I'm stealing your man when you're not with him. Don't you get it? Everybody knows what you're doing. Everybody knows about your conniving plans, Chelsea. You can't deny it. What the heck are you on about, Gemma? What do people know? What plans are you even talking about? The plan that you wanted to steal my man from me. You're such a homewrecker, Chelsea. You'll pay for messing with me. You were the one who got in the way of me and Seth getting married and living our best lives together. It's all your fault. You'll live to regret this. Oh my God, Gemma, you're so delusional. Would you seriously cut it out? I've done absolutely nothing wrong. How many times do I have to repeat myself to you? Seth and I started dating almost 4 years ago. He's moved on from you. When he and I got together, you both had nothing to do with each other, right? You both cut off contact from each other. How is it possible that I took him away from you when you'd both broken up? He wasn't your boyfriend at the time. Shut up, Chelsea. You're so wrong. Stop trying to argue your way out of this. You know you've ruined our relationship. I'm not trying to argue with you, Gemma. I'm trying to make you see sense, but it's obviously not working. Well, it's all going to be okay anyways. I don't think you can get married to him. I'm looking forward to seeing it all explode in your face. The ceremony should be a fun time. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? You know about the ceremony? I don't think you're even invited to it, so how do you know when it is or even where it's happening? You're looking forward to it? What do you mean by that? Where are you going with this conversation? If you're planning to sabotage our relationship, I wouldn't even try if I were you. You've absolutely lost the plot. Seth, are you there? We really need to talk. Something weird happened. I got a bunch of horrible messages from your ex, Gemma. I really don't think you would do this, but did you say something about our wedding ceremony to her? You didn't invite her, did you? Because there's no way I'd want her there. She's going crazy.
Whoa, what? Where the heck did that come from? Why are you mentioning Gemma? She thinks that she's invited to our wedding? I don't get it. There's no way that I was inviting her to our wedding. I don't want her even stepping a foot into our ceremony, because she'll probably do something to ruin it.
I just got some strange messages from her and it got me really anxious about everything. I was quite worried about it because she sounded really angry. I just wanted to message you to make sure she wasn't bothering you or anything like that. She's acting really weird.
Well, actually, she got in touch with me a little while ago. She was acting weird then, too. She was so persistent about wanting to be with me again, and I ended up telling her that I was going to marry you. I just didn't want her contacting me again. Maybe it's my fault she came after you with those huge rants.
I don't understand why she'd get in contact with you after all this time. She seems really crazy about you. Have you ever kept in touch with her about our relationship? Has she bugged you before about wanting to be with you?
No. And there's no way that I'd ever want to get back with Gemma. She's acting so odd these days. It looks like she's gotten herself into a bit of trouble. It's a hot topic amongst our colleagues at work when it comes to her.
Oh, really? What's been going on with her? Why is she acting like this? Ugh, why is this happening so close to our wedding day? It's frustrating. It's only 1 hour until your ceremony begins, Chelsea, but I don't think your wedding's going to go as planned today. What are you talking about, Gemma? Can't you just let us be? I want this to be a happy day and something that I remember fondly for the rest of my life. Oh, don't worry, you will. It's my fault that I've taken your fiancé away from you. You may be surprised to get a call about something special being stolen from you, but it's okay because you deserve it. I'm getting back together with Seth, so it's okay if you leave and I'll attend the ceremony in your place. What the heck's going on here, Gemma? You can't just do that. Do you really think this is a victory for you? What do you really want to say to me? Don't you get how much of a misunderstanding this all is? He was your boyfriend in college, but we're not in college anymore. Can't you just move on with your life and find someone else? There are plenty of eligible men out there. If anyone's having difficulty understanding this, it's you, Chelsea. The loser has no choice but to hang its tail between its legs and run away. There's nothing that can get in between Seth and I being together now. I'm planning on having you disappear without a trace. And Seth also agrees with me that you need to leave and never come back. Okay, Gemma, how about you don't jump to conclusions just yet and calm down a bit, okay? You need to take a good hard look at reality. Are you telling me that you've been talking to Seth? If you've been messaging each other, why don't you have a good look at what he said, okay? There's no need for me to do anything like that. I know what he said to me, and I know him way better than you do. Our hearts are truly connected, so I know what he wants in life. Are you kidding me? Your hearts are connected? Ha! What a joke. I wouldn't take your delusions so seriously, Gemma. I can't listen to you talk anymore. It's making me go crazy. I suppose I have no choice but to move on from this. If you'll excuse me, I can't talk to you right now. This is all too much for me to handle. Wait, what did you just say? You know that if you come to the wedding venue, it'll be a waste of time for you since Seth and I will already be married. I'm already on standby in the wedding hall. All that's left now is to wait for Seth to walk in. I do apologize for doing this an hour before your wedding, but Seth and I have decided to get back together. There's nothing you can do about it now. I'll take your position in the ceremony. Then it'll really show people just how much of a loser you are. You just let an ex take your fiancé away from you. I don't know how you could possibly do that when I've already said my vows and kissed Seth. Huh? What are you talking about? You haven't done anything like that. Stop lying to me. I don't mean to rain on your parade or anything, Gemma, but what are you doing? Our wedding has already begun, didn't you know that? We just kissed and said our vows to each other. Wait, what? What are you even saying? The wedding hasn't even started yet, so how could you have possibly done all of those things? I made sure what time the ceremony was at so I could be here on time. I'm at the wedding hall right now. You know that you're talking about where the reception's being held, right? I told Seth about the messages you sent to me and also how you got in touch with him. Of course, you wanted to get back together with him, but it looks like you've made a huge mistake. I just showed Seth your messages just now. My husband bursted out laughing when I told him about the situation. Wait a minute. Your husband? You're not talking about Seth, are you? Chelsea, what have you done? Of course he's my husband. Who else would he be? He was only ever getting married to me, Gemma. By the way, my classmates from college also busted out laughing when they heard what you were trying to do. If you're at the venue, you should maybe stop trying to embarrass yourself so much and just go home. Wouldn't you be better off doing that? What do you mean by that? I'm not embarrassing myself at all. Seth was supposed to get back together with me and get married. Why couldn't you have just left well enough alone and let me have him? Because that was never going to come true, Gemma. You message me out of the blue with this nonsense and think you can just take what isn't yours? There was no way I was going to add more fire to the flame with the replies you were sending. How did you come up with such delusion in your head? But it wasn't a delusion. I swear it wasn't. I thought that Seth was just playing hard to get. I wanted him back. Why do you think he'd want to get back with a woman who he dated 10 years ago who couldn't show her affection and was just mean to him? I guess it was just me misunderstanding how salty you were about me being with him. You don't have to go that far. All I wanted was to be back with my ex. Don't be so rude. If anyone is being rude, it's you by trying to take him away from me. You know, I've heard a lot of things about you, Gemma. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What are you talking about? You think you've got some dirt on me or something? Seems like your marriage isn't going so well, so you thought it would be a good idea to get in contact with your ex-boyfriend. That seems to be the rumor that's flying around these days. Do you really think it's okay to do something like this? What the heck are you talking about, Chelsea? Where did this rumor come from anyways? Did you not think that your ex-boyfriend would not catch on with what you're trying to do? I guess you were pretty desperate to even go as far as you did. Looks like you're going to be demoted or lose your job, right? What on earth are you talking about? Where did you get that information from? How do you even know about that? I'm just guessing what's going on right now, but back when you dated Seth, you cheated on him, didn't you? Everybody knows that you did, so we all thought you were delusional and trying to get back together with him. Why should that even matter? It was a long time ago, and to be honest, who cares about that? We're all living in the present, so why are you bringing it up? Oh, really now? Well, it seemed like you wanted to relive the past not so long ago. You're the exact person I want to say this next thing to. If you're living in the present, why don't you stop trying to cling on to your ex? It's not a good look, Gemma. It just makes you look even more desperate than you already are. What the heck are you talking about? Clinging on to Seth? What part of me is desperately holding on to him? If anything, he was always clinging to me. Unlike you, Chelsea, I was very popular during my college days. That's why I thought it was weird that he broke up with me. All because I cheated on him a little bit. Well, I guess you've got one thing right. A lot of people admired you during college. Yes. I found out halfway through our time at college it was all because of your looks and nothing else. Excuse me? How dare you say something like that to me? I was popular for many reasons, not just my looks. Yeah, I don't think so. Just because you were attractive back then doesn't give you the excuse to cheat on your partner. You're just like every other person who cheats on their partner. Trash. How dare you? You've got some nerve calling me trash, don't you? All you were back then was a little nerd that nobody would touch. And so, what of it? That was me in the past, and I'm okay with that. Besides, Seth chose me in the end, didn't he? He saw something in me compared to you, who was just looks and was stupid and empty on the inside. Shut up! You just love to bring others down with your words, don't you, Chelsea? What the heck would you ever know about me anyways? I've got no interest in knowing you, so why are you being like this towards me? I don't have to understand you because frankly I don't want to. You're the one who started bothering me first. It just so happens that we were once strangers that went to the same college, but you know that word quickly spreads when you're in classes, right? I knew enough about you that it was in my best interest to stay away from you. I never wanted to get involved with someone who was trying to take my boyfriend back based on her crazy delusions. He doesn't want you. Don't you get that? They weren't delusions. I'm just trying to prove that I'm the more attractive one out of us. I just wanted to show him what he'd miss out on if he got married. Well, my husband, Seth, said that he wanted nothing to do with you ever again and to stay away from the both of us. It seems like he's already blocked your number, which is a good start. He should have done that in the first place. Wait a minute, what? He's gone and blocked my number? He's got no right to do that. There's no way he'd do that to me. I thought I meant more to him than that. Are you living in La La Land or something, Gemma? He told me himself that he did that. He also showed me his blocked number screen. We're married now, so we don't need any crap from people like you who are just trying to split us up. Your plan was never going to work, Gemma. Why are you giving me so much trouble? Are you seriously just trying to make fun of me now? Fine. Seth and I will just start over and get married today. There's no way I'm going to let you marry my Seth. I deserve his love, not you. You're just a little nerd who deserves to be alone. What the heck's your problem, Gemma? Are you insane? You're Seth? Would you quit with this game? He doesn't belong to you. He's his own person and can make his own decisions. Why are you doing this to my husband? Stop calling Seth your husband when he's not. Seth is mine, and we all know it. He belongs to me, fair and square. Are you confused or something? Did you hit your head or something? Don't you see what you're doing is bad? This is a really bad situation that you're putting everybody in, Gemma. He and I were the ones that were supposed to get married at the wedding venue. You've ruined everything. You're going to pay for this. There's no way that you can get in the way of me and Seth getting married. I won't let you. I see what you're trying to do. You were going to ambush me at my wedding so that I couldn't marry him. Were you planning on harming me and taking my place at the altar? There's no need to cause you any harm when it's obvious that Seth chose me over you. You're just hiding him from me. No, instead of choosing you, he thought it was some kind of joke and just laughed really loudly. He's not taking you seriously, Gemma. What the heck are you talking about? He needs to take me seriously. We're going to get married and be together forever. Oh, I forgot to mention this to you, Gemma. We had our wedding already. It was held at a different church. We only invited family and close friends. After we finished here, we're going over to the other venue to have the reception. Seth's asked someone from the ceremony to contact security so they can clear the space, so to speak. You got married somewhere else? What do you need security for? What's going on here? Well, you're in the reception hall, right? You being there might put us in danger after the way you've been talking to us. I can't risk you being there trying to hurt me or take away Seth, so if we find you there, you'll be escorted out of the building. Excuse me? Danger? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think, Chelsea? All I wanted was to have my Seth back. Don't you dare treat me like I'm a dangerous person. I'm not even going to do anything to you. And I can't take that risk after the way you've been talking to me about Seth. You're clearly a dangerous person, Gemma. You're completely unstable, and who knows what you're capable of. Thanks to you, we've had to delay the start of the reception. It's going to start 30 minutes later than it should be, and it's all your fault. You need to take responsibility of spoiling our special day. Hurry up and get over it then. I need to talk to Seth. It's urgent. I only need to speak with him for a little bit. It's no use communicating through you by messaging back and forth. That's why I'm saying you're dangerous. I can't possibly let you do that because I don't know what you do to him. What? I don't understand. Why? All I want is to talk to him. That's it. Why won't you let me do that at least? Well, you've made a big mistake thinking you'd be able to get back together with Seth. He knows how delusional you are. He doesn't want to be anywhere near you, and neither do I. All you wanted to do is hijack our wedding. It would be a stupid idea to let you near my husband. I guess he and I will do everything together from now on. I'm calling the police along with the security that's based in the venue. They're going to secure the area so that you can't get in and ruin anything. What the heck are you saying? There's absolutely no need for you to call the police. You're overreacting so much right now. I haven't done anything to you. I haven't hit you or hurt you in any way. Why are you being like this? Are you kidding me, Gemma? These messages you're sending me alone could be classed as a threat if I showed them. I'm not even threatening you, though. I'm just telling you to stop messing around with my Seth. He belongs to me. You saying that is super suspicious in itself. You're just a snake. I don't want you anywhere near us. I can't believe this woman. What do you mean by that? Are you calling me a snake? I haven't done anything to you. Is there anyone else I'm speaking to right now? Of course I'm calling you a snake, slithering in to try and steal Seth from me. And on top of that, trying to ruin my wedding day and threatening us as well. Just shut up and leave me alone. Stop interrupting people's weddings. Stop acting so desperate. We've had a happy wedding in front of family and friends. I want to continue the celebrations with my husband in peace, so let us do that. There's no space for you in this relationship, so don't even try bursting our bubble. You don't need to overreact like that, all right? I'm just trying to take back what's rightfully mine. I also loved Seth as well. He can't just forget me like this. I thought that Seth might still love me. I thought he was trying to drop me hints even though he was with you. There is no way that he still loves you after the way you've treated me and the way you treated him back when you cheated on him. Your relationship ended 10 years ago. Can't you just move on? You're actually crazy, Gemma. I can't deal with any more of this. If you understand what's going on, please admit your mistake and do your best with your marriage. If you're not happy, talk to your husband. But before doing that, you might need to look for a new job. If you actually try, maybe your head won't be so empty, right? How dare you say something so cruel to me? Why don't you take a look in the mirror, sweetheart? You're so ugly that the mirror would crack into pieces. Say what you like about me, Gemma. At least I'm not crazy or delusional. It's because of you that I'm so angry and just saying whatever I like. I never want to see you ever again. Don't even think about trying to approach me or Seth ever again. You'll regret it. And you're just a delusional old hag that's desperate for another man's attention. Get lost, you piece of trash. In the end, Gemma was found by the security guards at the wedding venue. Apparently, she was kicked out and never had the chance to meet up with Seth. She was then seen following Seth to his company later on. She was reported to the police and got interviewed. I guess she finally snapped out of her delusions as she was told not to go anywhere near Seth or myself. She was given a restraining order and not allowed within 100 feet of us. I reckon that she'll never break her restraining order and we'll never see her ever again. We can live in peace and continue without her around being a nuisance. It'll be good for both of us that we never meet her whilst walking down the streets.